It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and Adrian's on his phone. Good evening, Adrian. How are you today?
I've got a headache and a bad back, but nothing compared to those poor buggers in Ukraine. Sorry, I was just watching videos on it, been hooked on it like a sado.
And while we're talking about Ukraine, because we can't go in politically and stuff like that, and thoughts and what have you, but our thoughts are with Camper, Alexei Samkov, the team from Air Detectors and what have you, our brothers and sisters of the metal detecting fraternity over in the Ukraine. Hope they are all safe.
Yeah. The air detectors guy was only at Chernobyl the other week.
He was, and now it's in Russian control.
Yeah, and it's all kicking off. And with social, it's weird because the last sort of, war I remember, apart from Afghanistan and that, was the Falklands, where all you got was a newspaper and a little bit on ITN, whereas now it's all over social media. It's almost like a game show, sadly.
Do you know, I remember when the Iraq war started, I was an apprentice at Airbus, so it's 1991, 1992, when that first kicked off at Iraq. And we didn't have what we've got today. And I remember we used to be running upstairs. We'd be doing on our sections, because you'd have different sections within the apprentice school. I'd be running upstairs and watching BBC News. And we only had, 5 channels then? 4 channels even.
At my work, we've got a massive, screen on the wall. And all day I was like, but it was looping a lot. But yeah, it's all kicking off.
Lupin, what, the professor out of Hogwarts?
Yeah, no, the footage and stuff, because they can't show it till it's been authenticated, can they? So you sort of get stuff on Instagram and TikTok and all that malarkey, but you don't know if it's true. And some sellers are posting.
I've got a couple of friends in the Ukraine, so I've been having like first-hand videos, actual first-hand videos, which were quite shocking in themselves.
Yeah, have you I've seen ones like they're building barricades in the streets, and the Russian tanks are going over them, and everyone's throwing bricks and stuff.
But the idiot nation as well. How many people there's bloody a missile or a crash something or something else that's cordoned off a little part of a shrapnel.
Yeah,
and they're all stood there with the mobile phones.
Yeah.
Hello.
Anyway,
we'll move on.
Those who don't want to watch that can watch this instead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although it's far more interesting watching that, really.
It's
anyway,
better for your mind.
Not as good quality production value, by the way. Can I just add?
Well, it's free. Don't pay for it, do they? So, yeah. Busy week, Dave?
Work-wise, yes, exceptionally. I've been stuck with the website for a bit because my laptop went down, and obviously with the hours I do, the laptop is get it up, put it on, and go it away. So new laptop coming this week, so I'll be able to get back into doing the work that I need to do.
Don't have much luck with cars, laptops,
mate. I'll tell you. I'll tell you things off air that'll make your hair curl this week.
But moving on. Yeah,
detectable.
The 9th to the 11th of September in Cambridgeshire, which is
officially announced today.
Yeah, riddled with history. So tickets, I don't know if they've gone on sale yet. I don't think so.
I think it's a little bit more than Cambridge as well. I think the area itself is very close to other borders as well. I mean, very, very close, even converging directly on the site maybe, but you're up there anyway.
Well, the tickets will no doubt sell out. The amount of people getting into the hobby now and going to rallies and stuff. Well, I have this about 1,000 in there for detectable tickets.
Something like that. And hopefully we'll be there.
Yeah. Just after Rodney Cook, isn't it?
The week after, yeah.
Yeah. So
I could save our oldies for that. And I've had a lovely care package this week from that nice man, Mr. Graham Dempsey. He sent me up some new things to play with and such like, including this little beautiful contraption, a nice queen clamp to do my cleaning on for when I actually do go metal detecting and find things.
Got a better one than you. Got a white one.
And preserve it wax with since the last time I actually had a preserve it wax, this one's got an absolutely delightful new label on, Adrian. Do you know about the label? Lovely new label. Very nice.
Oh, that looks better. Yeah, that's nice. Wonder who did that. Yes, so
thank you, Graham, for that. McGrafter, building up quite a stockpile and getting them sent out, all the McGrafter spades.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that. I've had some inquiries through Treasure Hunting magazine because I wrote a review on McGrafter about, a year ago? Yeah. And a few people have emailed me, where can I buy it? And the article underneath has got the web address. But yeah, I think Paul's doing well with that now. It's established and recognised. Yeah, it's established, and a lot of people have got them. You get the odd one who breaks it because he's trying to dig up his patio or something. But I've still got mine, original one, which is
me too.
A year and a half old now. So
and Shane, Jez is in the chat in the green room, and Jez has dropped out. He must have his internet problems again. Shane's got the new McGrafter. He's doing a review on that, the latest version, the KYJELLY version. No, it wasn't the KY Jelly one.
MEG or whatever. Yeah, and then you got the Legend being shipped tomorrow.
From the Legend, and again, straight away, here he is, he's back again, straight away, as good as gold. Nocta Macro have listened to the people, and an iron bias has been introduced, or is in the process of being introduced in one of the initial updates. Am I right in saying?
Yes, it is, because a lot of people were saying they needed it and wanted it, but I don't know. You've got to be careful with iron bias. You can make it work for your advantage or not for your advantage. You don't know what you're doing. So, it'd be interesting. On my Nox, I don't play with it much at all, really. But then I don't go on any heavily iron-infested sites where I live. So, Rodney Cook, but we'll see. Stop.
Ping.
That's Nocta Macro telling me that it is needed and everyone should have it on their machine. But we've got someone coming on to talk to us more about it next week.
Next week, yes, we've got some more great guests lined up. We've got people from actual TV. We've got well-known and established people who are currently doing a totally different side of our historical aspects of that we cover. We have people from officialdoms. We have TV presenters. We have who else have we got coming on?
Mackenzie Crook.
That's
we
basically.
Can't put him in. Did you tell him that when we can?
I said, Mackenzie, I'd like to have you, but you have to come on as Wurzel, and things need signing.
Did you see on the news this week that Danebury Village Hall, used in the Detectorist, is being knocked down, and they're auctioning off bits of it?
Really?
Like the urn and stuff. So someone sad somewhere is going to sort of fit the Danebury Village Hall toilet door on their internal house, and their wife's going to love it. I know mine would.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah. I'd like
Anyway, we're going to move on. We're going to introduce tonight's guest, Jez, via the article that was published, and briefly, in fact, we don't really need to in fact, we may as well introduce Jez and go through the article because of the images that are involved.
I think that's
and then we can have the video of the discoveries. We can have that running in silent anyway because you won't hear it. So let's bring on tonight's guest. Now, you'll remember Jez. Jez was with us. Good evening, Jez. How are we?
Good evening. I'll come up so you can see my receding
He's coming
hairline.
up so we can see his receding hairline and his big bushy beard.
I like the T-shirt. I like the T-shirt.
Shows the T-shirt. Shows the T-shirt. Shows the T-shirt.
Who in the chat knows what film that's from? Retro.
Kerry, if you don't get that, I'm sorry, Kerry. You have to get that.
One of my favourite films.
Anyway, Jez joined us last year. Made a startling discovery in one of Luke and the team's Peaky Finders rallies, and quite startling. So, Jez, reintroduce yourself to the masses, and we'll get looking at the article and such like.
Well, I'm Jez Gold. It's me. I founded Bronze Age Hoard. I think it was back in September. It's it seems like a long time ago. Probably was. And it was quite a day, quite a week. And we had a little chat about it a while back, and I'm back, and it's nice to see you guys again. I've been checking in on you on some of the other interviews and things you've been doing. It's been great.
It's great to have you back, Jack. Great to have you back, Jack. Jazz. I didn't get in from work till 7:10, and I'm up again at 4:04. I'm a bit befuddled at the moment. Yeah, it's great to have you back. I mean, obviously we had you on the show. You've discussed it off air with us. The images that you sent over, and we got access to. Fantastic, but startling discovery. So if I share the screen, which will make me disappear, and I won't know. So Adrian's going to have to talk us through things anyway, because that's the benefits of Luke not doing it and me instead. So there you go.
Oh, Dave, can you see what's on the screen?
No.
That's not appropriate, whatever you've put up.
I'm sorry, mate.
No. Jez, this is you're cool. You've got a short beard there, Jez. That's you with your Equinox 800.
Yep, it's the Equinox 800 with me my large plate Allen. My large coil.
And is that Neil who's with you?
That's Neil. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Neil. He was with me on the day. We go out a bit anyway. You know, he was like the first guy I knew that was into metal detecting, other than Chris when I first got into it. And I've known him for years. I was like, "Oh, you detect, yeah?" And we started getting out and detecting together. And he invited me out on the Peaky Finders thing, which I've been dodging for a while because I was always working and this, that, and this. He said, "You've got to come out." I said, "All right, come." And then I'll come and find sod all on a rally, because that's often what happens. But it's more about the social and this, that, and the other. But yeah, it was just such a surprise. The whole day was just bizarre.
So, did you find? I can't remember now. I haven't read the article, Dave. Sorry.
All right,
Your friend, did he find that get signals alongside you with the hoard?
Yeah, I mean, we both pretty much close to simultaneously had a signal. I had it go off in the headphones, and it banging like 39 on the knocks, and I was like, bloody hell, what the hell is, probably used a slightly stronger language, what the hell is that? And he's gone, I've got a 99 on the dais, like pretty much at the same time that she was investigating. I said, we're going to dig. I want to know what gives off that sort of signal. So I started digging. He was digging. He turned up his a lot sooner, because his was, I think, only about 14 or 18 centimeters down. And it was a bronze ingot, because I'd found bronze ingots before, just singularly. And so he's gone, yep, this is a bronze ingot. And I was like, right, I'm bloody digging this, because it was a bigger signal, and I hadn't got anywhere near it. We had like it was in our heads that it was the chance, strong chance. It could have still been a big piece of aluminium that had been, or a bit of bomb or whatever that had gone deep into the ground. But I thought, we're going to dig this up. And that's pretty much how it came to pass, really. I just kept digging and digging and digging and digging until I saw green well below the plough line, and that got really exciting.
And it was quite a while until it was all retrieved, wasn't it?
Lots of camping on the spot ensued.
Oh, yeah. That was great. That gave me a nice breakaway. But it's very, very no. I mean, it's very stressful. I was just doing my duty.
Yeah. Very nice glass there.
It's very, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very twee. Very twee. Don't think Napoleon Dynamite would have drunk out of that. But so, in regards to the hoard, what has there been an update on it, and how many in total, for those who haven't read the article?
Well, it was 40 in total. We included Neil's ingot that he found alongside before I dug down to the other 39. So we've included that because we're pretty damn sure it was a couple of meters away, and that was part of the hoard and it had been dislodged. I mean, I think other clubs have been on that field. I would have loved. I mean, at some point, if anyone watches this and they've been on that site and they know the site that we're talking about, if they could sort of let us know if they found anything on that site, that would be really good. Because I think there could have been other dislodged items.
And that it's Niall.
Yeah.
Oh, his mum's put his name on his T-shirt because he obviously
forget the marker pen on mine when I was at school.
It's probably because he puts his mum's tops on. He gets very confused now.
Well, I know he wears other parts of his mum's clothing.
Yeah, he wears blouses a lot. Loves a blouse. So this is the Peaky Finders detecting rally that you go on, is it?
Yeah.
Look at the bit of free promotion for Bob Morris Plaster.
I was just about to say, Dave, you should blur that out.
Hey, and look at this as well. Look at this. Pomsey metal detecting, look. Our coaster that we got off him.
Mine's disappeared. Oh. No, it's all right. I thought the dog had got it, but it hasn't.
That'll be the housing manager, that.
No, Pomsey.
Let's move along a little bit.
The dog's chewing everything, so I thought the dog had got that. So, since your hoard, has anyone been back on that field?
I I have no idea. I've not been on there. I might still have a key to it. I need to return that to the farmer. But yeah, I mean, you knew the kind of the backstory to it. I think there've been other clubs that have been on that field, and you know, there's that old saying, a field is never done. You know, we were on there. I got a couple of George Halfpennies and bits and bobs when I was on there, and there were bits turning up. It wasn't amazing, but there were finds turning up. And I'm sure the old club has got back on since they found out the hoard was found there. I'd be surprised if it hadn't, because they were on there within, you know, the first week of it turning up and the word being out on the street, you know, as it were. So I don't know whether the Peaky Finders have been out there again.
All right. And
I apologise. I actually lost you a minute ago. Bombed out for some reason.
Sorry, we've not got the fancy internet now that the missus isn't.
No, it was me who bombed out.
Oh, it's normally me, so I won't worry.
Yeah, yours is usually to do with mice.
Yeah, mice. Don't even talk to me about mice. Got mice again. They're big, deep old holes, aren't they?
They are indeed.
Do you know
what? Very, very close as well.
Yeah. Do you know? It's making me
feel.
feel.
Was definitely off the top of the hoard, wasn't it? It had been dragged by the plough.
That's making me feel sad seeing that. Those ground conditions at the moment. I wish it'd hurry up and get spring, summer, autumn.
I like the point that you done there, that you've filled the hole in, left the ingots, and obviously covered it up, ready for obviously archaeologists and such like. There's that lesser spotted Luke Higgins.
Oh yeah,
does exist.
I've not seen him since the whole hoard thing. I need to get out again, but I've had another child. I'm a dad of 2 now.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations.
You see that vehicle there going along? Do you know how sad I am? Do you know how sad I am? I could tell you what every ram is on that, every hydraulic ram. I can tell you the number of. I'm not going to, but I am that sad.
Useful info there.
Yeah.
I spray them for a living.
Can you tell us the unladen curb weight of it, Dave?
I could tell you the unladen weight of a European swallow.
About an African one.
I'm bollocks when it comes to that, to be honest. I'm all right with the
It's
big old Lego block that.
Just going back to the ingots, Jez. They were XRF scanned, weren't they?
Yeah.
What was
there's the image?
That might answer what the actual what you got? What you got?
The archaeological report from the marvellous Alex Bliss.
Oh, Dave, can we go big on this? I'd be interested to see what this looks like.
Yeah, we're going big.
Thank you.
How'd you go big? There it is.
I can show you.
What a lovely beard.
Thank you.
Big bushy beard.
Brian Blessed.
Right. So
that is very nicely laid out.
So he put a nice little spine on it. So we've got pictures and everything. So obviously you probably won't be able to read through this, but I'll see if I can read the bits out where you've got the makeup of the because they did run a spectrometer on it. I believe this one. Sorry, it's back to front. This one here is the one that Neil found.
Jez, do you get that out every time someone comes round, whether it's the milkman or the window cleaner? Do you get that out and say, "Have you seen this?"
I only got it yesterday, but I will. I mean, I've sent kids to sleep.
He wasn't talking about the report, Jazz.
No.
What, the other green thing?
No, it is. It's something which you think, I found that. And that is something which, have they given you a PDF of it, or is it all hard copy?
No, I mean, I have asked Alex for a PDF. He says he's going to see what he can do and see if it'll mess with the whole format. But we've got the excavation. There's talk within this. Let's see what we've got here. Little drawings. It's very, very nice.
Wow.
We've got photos as it was coming out.
That's very in depth, isn't it? Fair play.
That is
I
lovely.
mean, it's a big
yeah.
report. I mean, we're still going here. I mean, we're still in the photos.
And do you know what? To have something like that, as Adrian's just said, in your possession, that's, you know, something that you've discovered, historical value of that, and having that report in your hand, say, "Hey, look, I added to history."
Yeah.
What's it called? A late Bronze Age.
Pictures of a lovely lady. This was the environmental analysis. Unfortunately, it was too contaminated with stubble, various stuff that was being blown into the excavation to have anything concrete. Which is, I was kind of hoping for some sort of conjecture, really, with it, but to say, well, we found this, that, and the other, which wasn't, you know, of the day.
What's the title of the what the hoard's called? The title of that book.
Do you want? Well, it says near somewhere, so it depends how secretive you want to be. With
No. On the front of the book, it says late Bronze Age hoard.
Yeah, late Bronze Age hoard ingot from near Kent. Report on the excavation and finds.
How many pages is it?
We've got a few here. Let's have a quick count up. One, two.
They not put footers on with numbers. Oh,
hang on. No, we do have. We've got pages. Yeah, 47.
47.
We've got the table of contents. So we've got page 47 being the last one.
So the process, Jazz, we've obviously started with the discovery. Following the discovery, you've had camping out with friends and whatnot. Nice little holiday away. Following that, obviously, the excavation. And then I take it all of the ingots have been taken away. They've been done whatever they do in the laboratories.
Yeah, I mean,
they've
put a spectrometer on them, and we've got a picture here. Probably not very well.
Let's go big again. All right.
Those are a fair few, and this was a restacking of ingot fragments. And we've got a picture of them all here, and we've got a lady.
Well, that's nice.
They ran the spectrometer. I'll read out to you if you want. This was an opportunity to analyse a few ingots from the hoard via the non-destructive portable XRF. It was kindly offered by Dr. Sarah Painter and Dr. Francis Garrardi, and that's Historic England. Undertaken the ingot fragments with the main objective in mind to determine a broad indication of their composition. And I'll give you, for any budding chemists out there you go. That's the. Can you see that all right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That makes sense now.
That's what you're after.
Yes, SF018. Yeah, reading total.
SP18, of course.
99.
And then we've got the breakdown of all the different.
The preliminary analysis.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Non-invasive surface techniques.
What's that word called?
Confusing. That's the only problem when you get reports like that. Sometimes you read them, and there's lots you don't understand. Either every day in my life.
Yeah. For cleanliness and presence of damaged areas that allow slightly deeper access to the metal, because the ingots remained uncleaned. Post-excavation retaining not only the soil but copious amounts of corrosion products. The initial readings were somewhat influenced by this contamination. Therefore, it was necessary to remove the results in the overall spectrum obtained. What do? They used a more reliable analysis. I think from a small area, 1 millimeter scratched with a scalp, and to expose the bare metal at several locations per ingot. The outcome of this preliminary analysis is presented in the table. So yeah, that's pretty accurate. Then I guess they've actually gone, 1 mil in to find out the makeup. I mean, that's pretty pure copper, isn't it? What they've got there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've just had to actually Google because I forgot what the word was I was trying to look at, and it was element. So my mind went blank. I couldn't remember the word.
Philip Wills put that in the chat.
I saw the 99.5 and I thought, see you there. Well, that's got to be copper. But what's SN? That's the SN.
That's that very well known, very well known element.
Dave's googling it.
NI's nickel, isn't it? Is that nickel? NI?
I didn't do very well in.
No.
So the SN is obviously 10, obviously.
Yeah. So it's interesting stuff. I mean, there's Alex spoke highly of how we dealt with the whole process, of contacting the flow.
That's nice to hear.
Let's see if I can find it.
I need the periodic table on the wall.
I used to have one at school, but that was some time ago.
Yeah, I've never got my head round it.
Adrian can't remember school. It was that long ago. That's what
I did sums. I did sums at school and writing. That's about it. But Jez, do you work? Do you travel to work, or do you work from home? Or
I work. Yeah, I travel to work. Well, I do. Obviously, I'm a musician, but I've also got for the first time in 20 odd years, as a result of the pandemic and this, that, and the other, I've got a day job. I work with adults with autism, and I would work in workshops and then daycare activities, and we go out bowling, we do sports and all sorts of cool stuff like that.
Are you going to get a laminated copy of your book to go and take out to people with you as well? Because
I think it's just
definitely the laminated copy.
Definitely laminated, in case anyone gets overexcited,
Here's my laminated book.
How many times you been out detecting since you found your hoard?
Not as much as I'd like, because I ended up I've been out a bit, but recently I slipped a disc about a week and a half ago. That kind of messes up your metal detecting a bit.
How did you do that?
Metal detecting,
probably, and cleaning up finds. I was kind of bent over, not using my knees, and I remember at the time thinking, this posture's not great, but never mind. I was kind of over a bucket cleaning stuff up, trying not to get muck on me. Out in the garden for a couple of hours, cleaning bits up, the old scrap, and dealing with all my scrap that I've just been left soaking for a while. And I felt it knotted a bit. And then I got to a gig and I lifted a big bass up and I thought, it spasmed. I managed to drag myself home and got in and got on the floor. And I was on my face for about 22 hours before I could even get up.
Really? Oh, God. Yeah. It's funny because I can go out detecting for like 8 hours, 10 hours, bending over, digging holes. All fine, absolutely fine. This week, Tuesday, get ready to go to work, put my shoes on, did up my shoelace, and put my back out really bad.
That's the little things afterwards. I mean, the thing I was lifting wasn't even that heavy for me. It was much heavier things. And it just went, it's because I was just off on one side, and I'd obviously compromised your posture and stuff is really important. It
is. I always think there's a reason why babies squat with a straight back, because their spines aren't formed. But I always try and remember it, but I forget. And I'm always putting my back out, doing things like...
Yeah, but you've also, occasionally soil yourself like a baby as well when you've been drinking. So, it's a general thing.
But I have 10 a lady on, so I'm fully secured. No,
I've had to show Lee's dad joke at the bottom of the screen.
Where's
what
dad joke?
Is there an Putin? That's good. I'm going to remember that. I'm going to tell them that at work tomorrow morning. Russian bedpan.
You're writing it down.
I am. Well, I have to, Dave, because I forget things a lot. Dementia setting in possibly. So, Jez, caught him vaping there. Awful hobby. My initial question was, did you take it to work? People you work with, the colleagues you work with?
No, I've not taken the reporting. They bore the hell out of them. They really were.
Oh yeah, yeah. There is that problem.
So,
with a lot
all the ingot
because it's historical. I think if it was gold and sparkling and all of a sudden I was to be a millionaire, I think people would be interested. But the fact that it's historical alone, mostly, does tend to sort of, especially start talking Bronze Age and stuff. People are like,
we mentioned the process, as I said, with the excavation and it going over to the museum and such like. It's been tested. Have they done anything to conserve it at all, or has it been left in its state that it was found?
Well, this is what I'd like to know at some point as well. There is something towards the end, I think, where it mentions. I kind of went down to the chat to see the dad joke, and I can't get you back now, so I'm not quite. I can kind of see you in a grey area in the background, sort of. So
that's my and Adrian's general place of being in a grey area of life.
But yeah, I'll sort that in a moment. But I think it is awaiting valuation. Let's see what
so it's getting taken part as that part of the process, because you'd think that 40 lumps of copper is just something that would be, meaningful to a museum to show, hey, look, that's been 40 lumps of copper been found.
I mean,
but
my concern is you've got the Bolton Monchelsea one, haven't you? So you've got a big Bronze Age hoard with axes, spearheads, more pieces than I found in a similar area. So I think if that museum of the area, which remain unnamed, although probably everyone knows where it is now anyway, I think if they've got that, they're not going to want this particular hoard. So it's going to be tricky to know what will happen.
Has it got the total weight, Jez, of all of them?
That would be good. I think he did actually message me the total weight of it somewhere.
It's a few quid, isn't it?
It was a fair, just in scrap alone. I mean, I was chatting with Luke about it, and he said, well, your other options are, I mean, if the museum isn't interested because they're overloaded with Bronze Age hoards, it's quite an area for it around there. He said, it could potentially go up to auction. You could put it in a glass cabinet. You could rebuild it as it was in situ within it, and then put it up to auction, and it will probably be worth 5-10 times the amount, because obviously museums value things lower so they can afford them and share them with the public. Yeah. But it would be. I'd like it to be something that people could see publicly. And I think if they want it, then we might have to think about, offering it up for free, decision between me and the farmer, and just saying, well, if you want it, and we'll waive our fee and give it away. But it's tough to know until they come up with an amount. And what I'd like to do in an ideal world is be offered a few hundred quid, and then probably take the Peaky Finders bunch out and buy them all a beer and a slap up meal somewhere, because it would just feel better that way. There's a lot of people involved in the rescuing of this hoard.
Have a
by proxy, you also have to therefore invite me and Adrian by proxy, because we've both got Peaky Finders badges.
Just post alcohol. It's possible nowadays.
Yes, it is. It's possible. Yes.
Yeah, it's very, very possible, especially bags of beer and wine and stuff.
I'm just reading in the chat room. I'm going to do one quick shout out. The Kingston 8. Okay, young man. The Kingston 8 asks, is it okay to join in the chat? I am a complete amateur and do not film detecting. And her name's Shaz. Shaz, join in as much as you want.
Yeah,
we're here every week. We have lots of interesting people on. We talk lots of rubbish.
Yeah.
And make yourself at home. Pull up a chair. Send me an Adrian cake. All is groovy.
Or alcohol. Always cake.
And you got alcohol, I get cake.
And you can go to thebigdetectingshow.com on your own and sit there and play Spin the Coil, where you just spin a wheel and ask yourself mental questions on your own, because it's better than watching the war at the moment. I tell you what, I thought that tonight, Dave. I bet there's loads of people who've had it up to there with all what's going on, and they're just flicking through YouTube, and then suddenly they're seeing these two weird blokes talking to each other.
When I was in a war,
Yeah, and they're probably
like
not English, and just seen this Union Jack with big and thought it's some sort of.
I sounded just like you then, didn't I?
You sounded like me.
Yeah, when I was in the war, I sounded like a
Grandad from Fools and Horses.
Yeah, a Cockney like you.
I'm not a blinking Cockney.
A blinking Cockney. Gosh, that was well done there, Adrian.
Yeah, I'm not a Cockney. Oh yes, I also. Oh, thanks, Gareth. Stuffed badgers. Alexander was going to sort me out one, wasn't he? A stuffed badger.
No, he was going to sort you out.
No,
yes, stuffed badger.
Yeah, he was, and he was going to sort me out. Stuffed badger. Yes, I forgot about that. I'll have to email him. I've actually got an antique I want him to value because he's an antique dealer, isn't he? So we move on.
We move on.
Yeah. So have Mine Lab been in touch with you at all, Jez?
No.
Oh, really?
Not in the slightest, no.
Are you on the media of socials, Book of Faces and stuff?
I am on the Book of Face, but they've not contacted me at all, asking for anything or offering so much as a free cap or badge.
Cat?
Cat? What cat?
A cat. Mine Lab cat. Yes.
Yes, it's stamped down the side in big white red letters.
Yeah, red. Yeah,
My Lab
cat. Oh, well, in that case, then...
it will fill your holes for you, but it will shit in them.
Yes.
Again, so will Adrian.
Yeah. No, well, get a legend now. Then sell the Equinox, get a legend. You're going to keep your Equinox, I presume.
Yeah, I mean, all the while it's working. I mean, some plumbers chucked it about a while back. There's a little crack in the top of the box, so hopefully it will just hang on in there for a while. I like it, I'm not a massive gear freak, but I'm a believer that you need to learn to know how to use a machine. So if you go through too much gear, you're never going to get used to using it. I think I kind of know the Mine Lab quite well now. So
yeah, I always say it. People jump machines too much, I think, nowadays. And
how many machines have you got, Adrian?
2, and a few more. I'll tell you, give you a prime example. The Rutus Atrex, which came out the other month or recently. I've had the Alta 71 for quite a few years now. Love it. Know it inside out. Know how to use it. Some people say it's complicated, but I love it. Know what I'm doing. Got the Atrex, which everyone says is the same as the Alta 71. It's not. It's got a different microprocessors faster. It's got different tones, and it's got multi-frequency now and all this malarkey. Oh gosh, it's proper a different machine. And I thought I'd know it really well. And I normally write a review after 2 or 3 months with a machine, but the Atrex I've had to have a bit longer to fathom it out more. But you do get machines, and I've got machines. I've got a few, but I've got my favourites. Not mentioning any names, but I do feel people just jump the gun with new models now. So you've got the Legend coming out, next week in theory, because distributors are getting them. So you'll probably have someone who's had a Simplex for 2 or 3 years and upgrading. Fair enough, and but I know a couple of people who will buy every new machine that comes out, take it out, use it for 3 or 4 months, then sell it, then get another one. And I just sometimes think, you can have a Garrett Ace 250. Well, I don't know about Garrett, but it's luck a lot of the time, isn't it? This whole blinking hobby. It really is.
And recovery. I mean, it took me quite a while. Obviously, because I was out with Neil a lot. He's a Deus user, and a lot of Deus users are all about kind of like how hot can I get it, how deep can I punch, and I was kind of picking up tips from him. But what I discovered in the end with the Equinox is it's a high recovery machine, and that's what you need to kind of draw on. Obviously, when I found the Hoard, that was probably a result of I was on a recovery 5, so I wasn't aiming to punch particularly deep, but what you do is it just, you need to clean up those signals and sharpen everything.
I think, prime example, last week we had Alexander von Dave
Westenholz,
XP Deus Light.
Do you know why I know that? I've got a sticky thing on my computer still.
what sticky note.
Sticky note.
Yeah, he's got an XP Deus Lite, and you can get those on eBay now for 350 quid. No VDI, no graph, no XY axes, just the tones. And if you watch his YouTube channel, 9 times out of 10 he knows what he's digging. And that's the way I like it as well. I think you can get carried away with too much technology, although it is good to have. But yeah, I've got Deus.
You mentioned the Atrex, and TC Detect still has a competition on his channel, TC Detect on YouTube, to win one. And also, and he's bought this week for £300 brand new a Gauss.
Yeah.
Explain. I've never heard of one of them.
American, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, there's a review in Treasure Hunting magazine. It's a lot of people. It's a bit like routers. If you live in Europe or Poland, they're big in Poland. How you go on an event here and someone's got an Equinox in Poland, they've got a Rutus, and in America the Gauss is an American machine, but I think it's got some European input somewhere along the lines.
Yeah, you're also wrong. It's actually Ukrainian, Tony says.
Yeah, but I think it comes from America, Tony. I'm sure it's American. It's shipped from America. You can buy it anyway. Oh, I may be wrong. I might be getting confused. The Gauss, that's
you're thinking of a Garrett, mate.
No, I'm
begins
not.
with a G as well. That comes from America.
I'm sure there's links to America with Gauss. Anyway, we can waffle on. I think.
Oh, it's a Mars Gauss, as in Mars, who do the
Mars coils.
Aftermarket coils.
Yeah.
Right. Still never heard of one.
Yeah, the people I know have had them have said they're absolutely cracking machines. Jez, all right?
Jez having a stroke.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there he is. He's just on fire.
Yeah, it's. I know he's got a big Ukrainian flag on its website. Oh, Tony's kicking off now.
When is the winner going to be announced for the Atrex TC? Asked Gareth Howard. 12, Colchester. I just made that up. I don't know how old he is really or where he's from.
Yeah, when is it? The Atrex has got the multi-frequency now from routers, and that's thrown the machine. So that's like someone giving you a Deus, and then suddenly overnight it changes to a Deus 2. So it's
like when you go to sleep in Ukraine and wake up in Russia.
Yeah, it is like that because the machine totally changed with the software update.
You can have that one, by the way.
Tony Kaywood's not come back with an answer.
End of February, so we'll draw on the 1st or 2nd of March.
Right, okay. UK people only. Oh, look, my Kingston 8, my best find with our Garrett Ace 250 is a heavy gold coloured Louis coin. I think maybe bronze. Oh, well done. Yeah. Oh, gosh, I've completely lost the plot now.
Dark Knight Detector says, is it me or does Jess look like Seth Rogen? No, he doesn't. He might look like him a bit out of. Have you seen Pam and Tommy yet, Adrian?
Is that the pornographic video of Pamela Anderson?
No, it's the Disney adaptation. Sorry, it's the Stars adaptation. No, it is the Disney adaptation of the pornographic video. It's not got princesses and shit in it.
Well, I'm not interested in things like that, Dave.
Seth Rogen's in it and is a talking Widgie as well. Tommy's talking Widgie.
Bed knobs and broomsticks. That's about my limit. So
you said knobs.
Yeah, bed knobs. I know because when I was about 9, me and my mate watched it around his nan's, and we couldn't stop laughing when she said she'd rub it and all that. If you watch it again, whoever wrote that is an absolute wrong un. Watch it, bed knobs and broomsticks. I watch it every week actually. Yeah, so we can still post a guest for Tony Kaywood's competition on his YouTube channel, I presume. Gareth Howard's asking.
Can someone tell me the answer so I can post it? Because I'm not
23.
Yet.
It's 23. No. Jez, have you had it? What other machines have you had?
What other machines? Right. Not many, obviously. A man of few machines. I started off on the Garrett 83. No, I didn't actually. That was a pretty cool machine for the day. I started off on the C-scope, something with a couple of 7s and an O in it.
770.
That's the one.
770.
I just made that up, Adrian. I'm not going to know, am I?
700.
I don't know. It rings a bell.
Was it
a long
white?
time ago. It was in the 80s. But it was the one with like a dog leg handle on it, and you had the little dial. You had 2 knobs and a stem.
Did you borrow it off Chris Rogers?
No. I was detecting when that boy was in nappies.
Yeah, he makes it all up, doesn't he? He makes it all up, that bloke, Chris Rogers.
Yeah.
I know you're friends with him.
Yeah.
Just so people know before they start unsubscribing to us, you're friends with him. So
I am friends with Chris. Yeah, I mean, I think we're about the same age actually.
Obviously, late 30s.
Yeah, they're definitely maybe mid 30s. Round about there probably. But I started probably back when I was about 12, 13. First detector was a Tandy job. It's about £3, £5, something like that from Tandy. It was orange, and it had like one knob, which was the sensitivity. I started on one of those, and I found a Thropley bit, which is pretty impressive. Because you could pick up, a dustbin lid at an inch. And then I moved on to one of the early C-scopes. I think she was a 770. I stuck with that for about 3 or 4 years. Found a few bits, not great success rate. I did find my first silver sixpence with it, which was cool, at about an inch. And then I moved on to the Garrett 83, which was an underwater machine as well, which was pretty cool. So I was getting in the rivers and the sea and stuff with it as well. And that broke, and then I gave up for quite a few years, to be honest, until like I said before, a mate of mine, Chris, was detecting and doing his vids, and he showed me his vids, and it just brought it all back to me, what I actually enjoyed, and I regained the love of the hobby again about 8 years ago, I think it was.
Yeah. Sorry, we've just got a question there from Stephen K. He's just got an Atrex. When can I load the multi on? Where are we? February, early March. Rootus will release, if I'm correct, Tony Kaywood, the software for users to download it and flash it on their machine via their mobile phone or their laptop. And you can do it in the middle of the field, which is quite bizarre. You literally don't need good data signal as long as you got he's right, start March. So as long as you got the file downloaded on your phone at home, and you take it out in the field, you can Wi-Fi connect to your metal detector and update the software, change it from basic to pro to multi in a matter of, a minute. So yeah, beginning of March. But it's still having I think we've got the last version, Tony, myself and you and the other Rootus expert team. But yeah, have you thought, is there any machines, Jez, that you thought, I'd quite like to go at one of those?
I mean, obviously the one that everyone's talking about is the latest Deus, obviously, because it's combining the multi-frequency of the Mind Lab, with the lightness and just general advanced behaviour of the Deus. Neil's very excited. I think he wants to get one of those. I quite like to go. I had a go with his Deus Lite once, and there was hardly anything working. I think one of his headphones was out, and the ID numbers were out, and it was very quiet. And I had a go with it, but the actual lightness of the Deus, it is it's poetry in motion using one of those. They're just the Mind Lab is all right, but you feel like you're working, with it. It's it's the equivalent between sort of a broadsword and a samurai sword. It's
slicker. Yeah,
it's
I think
well balanced.
Those who are getting more mature, a Deus is a lovely light machine. The Deus 2 is a little bit heavier, but you take that control box off, and you've got the new headphones on the Deus 2, which got a bigger LCD display, and the multi-frequency works very well on it. I've tested it alongside the Equinox and the Rutus and various other machines, and it does perform well. It does perform well. But I'm interested in the summer how it performs in the hot soil with the multi-frequency. So yeah, it's a lot of money though, but then it's a detector that will last. Which brings me on to your Equinox. Have you got a stiffening plate on your coil to protect the lugs?
I've got protection cover on the bottom of it. I don't think I've got what's the stiffening plate? That's not the
Stiffening and protection.
You know, at the bottom of your shaft, where you've got the two lugs, and your shaft goes in the lugs. Yeah. There's a tendency for Equinoxes to snap, the lugs to snap. Yeah. So there's like this block you put on it, and I've had two coils go on my Deus in the last 2 years. I've not broken any, no. Fingers crossed. I've got a feeling
my stem snapped, and the arm cuff that snapped off it. It's
one of them.
It's not good. It's not strong on the Mine Lab Equinox at all. It's awful, if I'm honest.
What's that then, Adrian? What's that, Adrian? Hold on, Adrian. I've just so started to do this.
Protector.
Telenox aluminium arm cup.
It's not in there, I don't think. Oh, hang on. I can tell you.
Wow, look at all them people that we've had as guests. All them lovely people.
Sorry.
Here he is.
Jay, you'll get excited about this. So this is the Telenox aluminium arm thing, which is very strong. And it's even got a bottle opener there, like the... This is the thing I'm talking about here. So this is a strengthener for the coil. So mine broke.
It's possible that I do have something like that because I have changed the stem to the telescopic.
You got one of these?
Yeah, I've got the telescopic now. I switched to that. Oh no, I haven't got that. Oh, so that's what you want.
If your shaft gets in the way, you can flip it up.
Yeah, I saw those a while back, and I thought that's a bloody good idea because I don't like to drive. I drive. Nobody likes to drive the price of bloody petrol and oil at the moment. So I try and help the environment. As well as recycling all my scrap. I try and cycle, but the problem is if you've got the Nox in a bag and you've got that bit sticking out, it won't fit in any rucksack, and you just feel all that weight that you load into the bag is kind of pushing on your control box, So that's a brilliant idea. It means it will actually fold into a rucksack that you can cycle off. I've got a few local-ish permissions that are like a mile, 2 away, and if I can cycle to them, that's what you want, isn't it?
Do you know what? 100% rucksack. There's not many machines you can put in a rucksack comfortably. The Deus, that fits fine. Take the control box off, but for me, that's one of the downsides, and that's from detecting innovations. All those bits, which I'm trying out at the moment, and the shaft is a carbon fiber graphite shaft that they do as well, so it's fully pimped up. But the coil, I think. Why Dirt Diggers? Why doesn't it come with ears that don't break? I think it depends where you keep your detector. So sometimes I might leave mine in the car and we'll get a frost. So the car gets cold, the plastic gets cold, and then I take it out next day and it breaks because it's brittle. I don't know. I think it could be one of those things because I'm not allowed to keep them all indoors because my wife won't let me. So
they're quite expensive. You probably should be allowed. I mean, I wouldn't leave mine in the car. I mean, the frost is a killer for anything electrical.
Yeah, it's only just and I think that possibly could be it. But I also detect like Christmas Eve was frosty, and I went out Christmas Eve like 7 in the morning. It was like -2, and it broke just like a few days after that. So I sometimes think it's the injection molding plastic. Don't know. We'll see. I'm just seeing if there's any questions. Anyone know where I can get the Telenox upper shaft? That is the S-stem part only. Don't want the whole thing. I might have one. Just the top bit. I might have one. Dark Knight Detectorist. Oh God, Staffordshire Searcher. He wants one as well. He's just got a Knox, hasn't he? After finding his hoard.
He has indeed. Lovely little hoard there. We'll have that coming up in the ArkMD mag in the week next week.
Spin the coil.
Mate, it's already got it. It's already rolled up ready. I've always wanted to do that. Never been able to.
Really? Can you do it, Jez?
I wouldn't want to risk it. I wouldn't want,
Oh no, because you play with your
yeah, I do a lot of that anyway.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah, but no.
Dirt Diggers UK question. I'm interested in a folding control box. Question is, does it add weight with the hardware?
I'll show you what it is. So basically, there's a new back bit there, which is not 3D printed. It's injection molded, so it's strong. So you take your control box off, swap it for this new back panel, which is just a little thing there. It literally takes minutes. And then this is a bit Heath Robinson, but I like things that are simple because they don't break. So you basically connect it to your shaft, and then you just put that screw on like that, and it holds it in place. Really, really solid. And then to loosen it, just go like that.
So it adds no weight.
No, grams. But look at that. Look at that.
Does it expose any? Can you get dirt in the inner workings of that? I've not actually seen on the inside of that. There's nothing to.
No, nothing there.
So that's fine. Yes, you wouldn't have to worry about anything getting into your working parts. Or whatever.
So
that's what she said.
Let me just tighten my shaft up. So you tighten that up like that.
And this is primarily for the Equinox. You don't do it for other machines.
No, I have been, like Jez said, I've got my routers, Alta 71 and the Atrex at the moment, and the control box sticking out is a real bugbear in a backpack. So, because when I go out in the field, I'll take 2 or 3 machines, and I've got a backpack and I put the others in. And the problem is, if the control box is sticking out, it wobbles, and you walk down and you've got 2 detectors out your back like that, sort of like that, and it's annoying.
When you're mincing about in the field.
Yeah. Whereas if you could fold the control box up, put them together, zip it up, it'd be perfect. So I've been looking at if that would work on other machines, and it wouldn't. But there needs to be like people in the chat might be able to help me here. Some kind of sort of elbow joint that's flexible, and the only one I've found that will fit the size of shaft for most detectors is one for drones, and it's about 30 quid, and it's for high-end television drones because of the legs that stick, or not legs, the things, and hopefully someone in not China or whatever, but we'll have one. I think it'd be good. It'd be good to develop it for lots of detectors because it is a real bugbear, isn't it? That bit that sticks out of your shaft. Yeah. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, a lot of delicate, presumably digital circuitry and stuff, and it's sticking out. And so if you're going to kind of swing your bag, you're going to hit the delicate stuff, aren't you, as well?
Yeah. I think compactness is going to be key in the next 2 or 3 years with detecting. You all right, Dave?
Yeah, I'm just reading a question. About to read a question. I was full asleep, catching flies. How much for the S-stem, Adrian? Dark Knight Detectorist, hunting history.
Leave it with me. I will check. I've got a lot of jumble stacked up. I don't know where it is. I'll be honest. I have got one, but I don't know where it is.
I tell you what, Adrian, bring it to the Rodney Cook, bring it to Detectable, sell your wares on the ArkMD Mag stall.
I got it.
Oh, everyone's gone. I'm on me. Oh, there he is.
This is what my house is like. Does he mean that one?
The number 4.
Is that the one he means?
Is that your one when you mean Dark Knight Detectives on Dig History? Do you know, I'm going to have to actually ask people's names one week and write them down so I know who's who. Because it's like cunnilingus, isn't it, that? Bit of a mouthful. Yes, it's the right one and it's the right colour.
Email Adrian at the Big Detecting Show. No, email Adrian, Adrian, at bigdetectingshow.com or go to the bigdetectingshow.com website, go to contact us.
Adrian, do you know the hilarious thing there? If you actually looked to your side, look to your side. Yeah, if you look there, it's right next. No, there. It says it right in front of your eye. No, look the other way again.
Yeah, but some people might be dyspraxic or dyslexic.
No, you couldn't remember it. It's right next to your eyes.
Yeah, but I don't look at it. Oh, good, because I've used this, so it's been used once or twice. But
is that the Telenox, or is that the actual one that comes with the machine?
No, that's from Detecting Innovations. So
Tony Knox, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I forget. Detecting Innovations this came from, but yeah, I don't like red off blue, so that's why.
Cost me spray paint for that. Anyway, Jazz.
Thanks, Jason.
Do you know what time
I'll
it
speak
is?
to you about that.
Do you know what time it is, Jazz?
No idea.
It's that time, Jazz.
What is the time?
It's that
Hammer
time, Jazz. No, it's better than hammer time.
Competition time.
No. In the coil. Have you
got pants on, Jez? You got pants on?
What?
You got pants on? Good.
You'll need them.
1 o'clock.
What's this been the coil business? I've not.
No,
this is new to it.
Spin the coil, man. It's
Try to do it like this.
future. It's like the Knox innovations. This is like Big Detecting Show innovations.
Spin the coil.
How do I spin it?
Nobody anywhere has ever done this before, ever. We're the first people to ever do anything like this.
And it really does look like a coil after 2 bottles of red wine.
What, the coil of 2 bottles of red wine? Question 1. Jazz?
Yeah, go on.
Big or small coil?
Well, matron. Well, what's the depends what you're doing there.
What's your preference?
It's all about context. I like the big coil because I like going deep. With the Hoard, for example, that was a large coil. I've had some great results on the large coil, and you get more coverage with a large coil. You get a slip disc with a large coil. So,
not great for high trash areas though, but you probably don't detect on those.
Too much information, but you can crank up the recovery. That's a nice little. The beauty of the Knox is you can go 5 or 6 on recovery, and you can still tighten things up a bit. Obviously, medium's great. If I had to choose one, I'd say large. I'd say big is best. But I've had some good results, kind of with the small coil as well, on places that I've done to death, and you go back in, and it's like, what? You're sniping stuff off. With the Deus, I'd say the small coil was great. On the Knox, I'd say you don't get a lot of depth, but if you're in a really trashy area, there's a lot of iron, small. If you're just for all round, just general, if I had to take the majority of fields, I'd say that the large coil would be a winner on farm and pasture.
And just to confirm, what's your coil do you use?
I use all 3.
What's your biggest one?
17 inches, I believe.
The
big elliptical.
At the end of your shaft.
Well, right at the end of my shaft, swinging away like a
Good.
dreadful thing.
I'm 11 again. Right, spin. Go on, Dave.
Jazz. Next question. How far would you travel for what, Adrian?
For what?
Poo.
A
No.
poo?
No. For a permission.
Or a poo?
Permission.
I'm quite lazy. I
Poo.
don't like, even for work, I don't drive much. How far would I travel for permission? Would this be if I got permission, or would I literally drive out to like knock on someone's door and then tell me to piss off?
Let's say I said you could have my permission down here in Essex. Would you drive that far to detect on it regularly?
I don't think I would in Essex, unless of course it was like an amazing permission and like I was coming away 9 times out of 10 with better than average kind of 17th century usual run of the mill sort of farm stuff.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. Yeah.
How far for a poo?
Jez, do you carry toilet roll in your backpack?
Occasionally, yeah, it's good for all sorts, really.
You should put that on you in the list, Adrian. On spin the coil.
Cleaning.
What is your favourite detecting hat?
Oh, I lost my favourite detecting hat. My favourite detecting hat was a Cobra.
Mine, Adrian, is an Orange County Choppers baseball hat.
Choppers?
Yes, Choppers.
Mine is a Detechnix hat that I got about 6 years ago when I bought a Detechnix pinpointer. And I don't know why, but it's just, when you get, like when you get those pants that you think, oh, they really need replacing because the gusset's gone, but they're really comfortable. It's like that.
What? So the gusset's gone on your hat?
Yeah. Well, that's why I wear thongs now, because I get fed up with gussets going. Anyway,
I actually won mine at a biker rally.
Oh.
Next question. What do your friends think? This isn't to do with poo.
No. Of you detecting? Do they think you're weird, or do they think you're weird anyway? Or
I think they always thought I was weird. I think everyone in the village I grew up in thought I was a bit odd anyway. I think some think it's quite cool. Those that are interested in that sort of thing, and others are just like think it's odd. And then every night when you turn up something good, they're like, "Oh wow, I can kind of see why you're doing it." But the rest of it, I think my friends would think I was really weird if they actually saw what I was happy to go out and find most weeks.
yeah, no, it's not a bad thing. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care what people think.
No, this is the thing.
I enjoy it
to an extent.
Yeah,
But I don't now. It's this thing when you're younger, you get into your awkward teenage years, and it's a bit like, oh, I want to be
it's
cool.
not.
Now I don't care. I wear Crocs with socks. I'm beyond caring now. And
When I was about 14, my mates were reading Razzle and Escort, and I was reading Treasure Hunting magazine. Says it all, really.
Yeah, but we're doing the same thing that they were doing. Anyway, moving on.
Next
question.
I used to swap. Gold for bold.
Are you a member of the NCMD, FID, AMDS, or just Detect?
I am only a member of the Run DMC.
Interesting. Who've got a new website now? And they've got an app coming out soon, haven't they, David? NCMD.
Yeah. We're hoping that Alan will be joining us in the coming weeks. He wasn't able to join us last month, so hopefully he'll be able to join us in the very, very near future.
They've got a forum now as well on their website for members. You can go in, and there's a nice group of detectorists in there.
Dealer of choice, and we mean
metal
products that are legal.
In detecting, I'd say Crawford's great, really good.
Good call. They're all good, aren't they? At the end of the day,
they're all great. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had great experience with Crawford. A friend of mine, David Kirby, has used his Crawfords a lot, and he recommended them. And he buys a lot of stuff. He's a gear freak, so always trust a gear freak.
What would you name a detector if you were given the opportunity to name a detector?
That to me would be like more important than naming a ship. I'd love that.
If I could name a detector, I don't know. The anorak. Anarachnophobia. I don't know.
Been drinking too much, Dave.
I know, mate. That glass filled up, going.
I've not.
Mine would be called the Shaft Buster.
The dirt
digger. Dirt digger.
Should we have one more?
Yes, let's have. I was looking at books then, trying to find an idea, and I've got something about King Arthur, and that's about it as far as I got. The Lance a lot.
Actually, I've got a question about metal detector names.
What was Arthur's sword called?
Chopper?
I've not. Excalibur.
Excalibur. The Excalibur. There already is one, isn't there?
Yeah.
Pants or pillow? Never get this question.
What?
I'm not going to actually.
Do you wear pillows sometimes instead of actually wearing pants?
Do you wear pillow? How do you wear? Do you cut holes in them?
I think it's to do. Adrian's decided to put one. If you
if you were on a desert island, right, and you were naked, like Tom Hanks in. Well, I don't know if he was naked. No, he wasn't. But you are, because you were having a shower on your cruise, and then it hit an iceberg, and everyone died. Not your family, because they didn't come with you. You went on your own, and you woke up on this beach in the middle of like nowhere, naked. And what would you prefer to find? A pillow, nice, dry, fluffy, clean pillow, or a nice pair of like 1978 high waistband, sort of maroon Y fronts? Which ones would you prefer? Would you rather walk around?
I've got to interject here and say, mate, shit that goes through your mind is phenomenal.
Well, but they would have mustard piping Y fronts. Mustard piping.
I'd go for the pillow, because you could take the cover off and make a pair of pants with it, and then you could put it back on the case and then have a good night's sleep. Even if you had to chew holes for your legs,
Yeah, but you'd have like the smell of trumps on your pillow, wouldn't you?
I have that anyway.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's good. That's good. Thanks, Jess. That's put my mind at rest. And so it wouldn't bother you that they were maroon with mustard piping?
No, not at all. No one else is going to see it. Oh, this is a question I've got for you. Like, when you're in a field and you are kind of not miles from nowhere, but a good half a mile, and you're kind of in a shot of houses, and you're going to take a wee in a field, and you
I know what you're going to say.
It's like, do you obscure your chopper from anyone that might be a peeping Tom from half a mile away, or do you just get it out in front of your mates and stand in the middle of the field with your back to the houses?
Mate, the places I'd just do it anyway, whatever.
For me, Jess, my mate James, who's I don't think he's in the chat, he runs up. He'll run like quarter of a mile to a 2-foot hedge and squat and wee behind it like a puppy. Me, I just stand there, get it out proudly, look around as if I'm like looking at the scenery. Because the way I look at it, if I'm in the middle of a field and there's loads of houses, if you stand like that, it's confident. Whereas if you stand like that and just like spin around like a hose, no one's going to know. No one's going to know. So I do that. I don't run off to the hedge or the corner.
No, that's the same as that.
And
if Neil wants to look, then he's gay. It's his prerogative.
Nothing wrong with being gay on our show.
Nothing wrong with being gay.
Tick all the boxes.
He's a very jovial chap.
But I agree. I cannot be faffed with losing where I was detecting, going all the way, and no. Be interesting what
Extra bit of
our
conductivity
viewers
as well.
do. I have been known to kneel in a crowded place, do
Yeah.
like a sort of squat, like a lady dog,
Yeah.
for
From
urination. But most of the time, just stand up and proud. Although I did have a slight experience over Christmas where it was in the middle of a field with a bush, and I stood about 10 foot away from the bush because I was there, and I went, and within nanoseconds, a woman was walking a dog just as I was putting it away, which did worry me because the detector was on the ground, the spade was on the ground, and all she saw was a man covered in mud with his winky out, and I could have ended up arrested again. And I think I was on the phone at the same time as well, so she probably thought I was taking pictures of it. But yeah, I'll elaborate. That's a good question though. But
add
going
it
back,
to the list. Add it to the list.
that's a spin the wheel one. We in a bush or we in the field? Yeah. I fortunately have got good bowel control, so I haven't ever had to.
I've not been caught short for a long time.
No.
I was caught short in the woods once with my dog, and that was quite horrendous.
Were you like a bear?
Pretty much. But I was I think
I'd
eaten something. I'd eaten something I shouldn't have, and I had to dig. Obviously, I dug a hole. I'm not a complete animal, and I've done the poo, and then my dog's like trying to go for it, trying to eat it, and I'm trying to get her off. But obviously, I'm squatting with my trousers around there because I'm falling all over the floor, trying to stop
getting dragged through it.
Yeah, it still haunts me to this day.
I always worry about if the reason I do it in the middle of the field is if you go near a ditch or by a ditch and you slipped and broke your leg and your trousers around your ankles with your winky out and the emergency services turn up, it would hit national press because they're so desperate. So, man found flashing in ditch wearing camo. Sort of, I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
Or you could have a heart attack.
Good, isn't it?
A lot of people have a heart attack when having a poo, and you could,
Oh, really?
yeah, it's true. Granddad died on the toilet having a poo, heart attack.
Did you know how many people per year get killed by badgers, Jazz?
None.
Adrian?
182. Well, no, we should. Oh, I've told him now. 182 and a half a year.
What?
Globally, yeah.
How
And that's
are they?
from-
Is that with TB or something? Or
No, that's actual maiming.
maiming, like people like
Yeah,
Wind in the Willows, kind of like
yeah.
X-rated.
No,
You-
like the bunny rabbit out of Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah, or
I
Pipkins.
mean, the badgers are hard. They kill pit bulls. They are quite tough little. I've never gotten the wrong side of one, but I wouldn't want to. But...
No, it's 100. Yeah, 182 and a half a year.
So some do they come back to life then? Is that how?
No, I think it was Porg who was attacked. Porg, person of restricted growth.
Okay.
That's what the borough of Islington in London calls people who in the old days used to be called dwarfs. Porgs, person of restricted growth. But yeah, I think
badgers with sticks then, should they really?
well, no, John Clayton, he actually posted earlier on in the chat. He's got a video of someone trying to get a badger out of their house, and I would love to see that, John. So please put it on the Book of Faces or something, because I've seen someone trying to get a bear out of their house on YouTube.
Inbox it me, John, and I'll download it and I'll put it on.
Yeah, because that would make my day. Although I've got a mini badger at the moment, haven't I? Somewhere. So
Always got a bit badger going on there.
Anyway, It's 9:30. Jez, it's been absolutely fantastic to catch up with you, and it's been
Nice
very,
doing that.
very
I think
interesting to.
I brought a little Petronero along and everything. Look at that.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that.
A little children's toy.
Petronella.
Yeah, so it's a little mini musket.
Yeah.
It's a children's toy. You used to load it with gunpowder. You've got a little hole in the side there. And you'd put a little mini shot in it. And you light it here. And
Adrian, do you know when he aimed it at me then, Adrian? Shit myself.
I wet myself. Jez, are you going to try it?
No, I mean, I wouldn't want to blow
You can.
up.
If it was safe for children.
Yeah, but if you think about it now, it might. Kids in them days didn't have beards, and it might, harm his beard.
I would definitely.
Exactly. I'd lose part of my beard with this.
That is something I would experiment massively in my shed.
Bit of cordite.
Fireworks stuff.
Loaded bum.
I used to love.
I still love all this stuff. And we've got, look at that creepy little thing.
What is
You
it?
can see that. Got a little face. You probably can't.
It's like
see it.
Gollum.
Yeah.
I can see it.
That's another children's toy. Again, that was this one was early 1800s and 1700s, I think. And he used to have that. He used to have a jaw here, and used to load it with gunpowder and drop it on a piece of string, and then fire would come out of his mouth. Kids were playing with gunpowder loads back in the days. So I love finding these toys. I just thought I'd share that with you, because a couple of my favourites.
It's true, because as a kid, I loved playing with gunpowder. Well, old fireworks. Yeah, I very rarely lit one. I used to split them open, and shotgun shells. Used to play with those. Used to empty them out and do genies in the shed and make things. And I loved it all. Yeah, kids don't do that anymore.
I used to like the blue paper off fireworks. When they used fireworks, take the blue paper from that wraps around it and burn that.
Yeah, I used to go out looking for like dud fireworks, and we'd get them home. Me and my mates, James, Eagle Eye DJ, he knows. I'd set lights to myself loads of times. But I've got scars, and they're dangerous though. Any children watching fireworks, whatever you do, don't do things that I did.
I think
or still do.
Still do, yeah. The thing I used to love is how much weight can a rocket carry. I used to try from baked bean tins, and obviously that doesn't work.
Did you try them off the back of your bike to see?
Yeah. You used to put them on bikes. Yeah, I did lots of things with fireworks. So I remember it. But now you get older and you just pay 10 quid and watch them in a field with a load of idiots and get COVID, don't you? So thanks for coming on tonight, Jess, and updating us.
Jess, it's been fantastic. Really, really interesting. I'd love to see that report. If you are able to get it in PDF form, I'd love to read it myself.
I'll get him to send it through on a PDF. And there's a couple of nice little bits that he said. Acting commendably in restraint, the finders quickly realised the importance of what they had discovered and stopped digging immediately, and in line with the recognised best practice. So there's a nice section. There's a whole paragraph on that Alex wrote up, which is always nice. Nice, always good to get a pat on the back. So
absolutely, unless you're crawling underneath a cow.
Yeah, and that probably would be too bad if you got a bad back. Though probably wouldn't.
Well, me, yeah.
But so I was stalling things. Really good to catch up with you guys
and yourself, Jez. Absolute pleasure. So we look forward to obviously learning out the next stage, what happens next. So Adrian, pleasure as ever, and to all the listeners.
Thank you, David.
Tonight.
Tell my lad to give me a shout, and I like some free stuff, and they've not.
You might get the Mind Lab cat.
Or the Man Lab cat shit.
Just a correction there. Tony Kaywood said, "How am I still here with badgers, explosives, Winky out in fields?" Well, I thought he said Winkle. Sorry, he said Winky. That's right. I thought he said Winkle. I was going to correct him.
Don't forget, next week we will have a legend of a show coming up like that, and we will see you all bright and early at 8 p.m. next week. Thanks again to Jez. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next week. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good to see you guys. Take care.